On September 30th, 2011, the African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Child published its first ever decision relating to discrimination in access to nationality for Nubian children in Kenya. The significance of this decision, however, extends well beyond Kenya. In its well-reasoned analysis, which drew on an impressive variety of international and regional jurisprudence, the African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Child affirms important principles which are crucial to eradicating statelessness and minimizing discrimination against vulnerable minorities. Specifically, the African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Child upheld the vital norm that the child should acquire the nationality of the state in which she is born, if she would otherwise be stateless, and further affirmed that states must proactively take all necessary measures to prevent a child from being or becoming stateless. Children in Kenya do not have their nationality recognized at birth. Birth certificates explicitly said that they do not convey nationality. While most Kenyan children have a legitimate expectation that their Kenyan citizenship will be recognized, Nubian children have no such expectation. On reaching the age of 18, all Kenyan children apply for the ID cards and that are necessary to prove citizenship. For most Kenyan children, this is a simple process. However, Nubians are forced to go through long and complex procedures with an uncertain result. Some will never receive ID cards. Some will get them only after a long delay. This situation has been described by the Kenyan National Commission on Human Rights as institutionalized discrimination. The committee determined that a 6-year wait for a domestic remedy was unduly and unreasonably prolonged. The case was found to be admissible because national proceedings had effectively stalled and hence qualified the case as an exception to the requirement to exhaust domestic remedies before turning to the committee. The committee noted that the implementation and realization of children's rights in Africa is not a matter to be relegated for tomorrow, but an issue that is in need for proactive, immediate attention and action. Kenya's actions violate Article 6 of the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, which guarantees the child's right to acquire a nationality and the right to have that nationality registered. 2, unlawful discrimination against Nubian children. Because Kenya's actions are specifically targeted against Nubian children on the basis of their ethnic background, these actions also violate Article 3 of the Charter, which prohibits such discriminatory practices. Number 3, consequential violations. As a result of their historical treatment as foreigners, their continued uncertain citizenship status, the failure to recognize their nationality at birth, and the discrimination against them, Nubian children are consigned to live in poverty-stricken slums such as Kibra. This violates their rights of equal access to essential services such as education, Article 11, Paragraph 3 of the Charter, and healthcare, Article 14. The committee's decision. The committee found Kenya's actions violated Article 6, the Charter's provision protecting children's right to nationality, observing that statelessness is the antithesis of the best interests of the child protected under Article 4. it clarified that the child's right to acquire a nationality means children should have a nationality beginning from birth. The committee also found Kenya's citizenship confirmation procedures unlawfully discriminate against Nubian children in violation of Article 3, leaving them stateless or at risk of statelessness with no legitimate hope of gaining recognition of their citizenship. As a result, Nubian children lack access to adequate health care and education. In violation of Kenya's obligations to provide the highest attainable standard of health and education to all children, Article 14, paragraph 2, A to C and G, and Article 11.3 respectively, the committee made 5 key recommendations. 1, that the government of Kenya should take all necessary legislative, administrative, and other measures in order to ensure that children of Nubian descent in Kenya that are otherwise stateless can acquire a Kenyan nationality and the proof of such a nationality at birth. 2, that the government of Kenya should take measures to ensure that existing children of Nubian descent whose Kenyan nationality is not recognized are systematically afforded the benefit of these new measures as a matter of priority. That the government of Kenya, number 3, that is, the government of Kenya should implement its birth registration system in a non-discriminatory manner and take all necessary legislative, administrative, and other measures to ensure that children of Nubian descent are registered immediately after birth. That, number 4, that the government of Kenya to adopt a short-term, medium-term, and long-term plan, including legislative, administrative, and other measures to ensure the fulfillment of the right to the highest attainable standard of health and of the right to education, preferably in consultation with the affected beneficiary communities. Number 5, that the government of Kenya report on the implementation of these recommendations within 6 months from the date of notification of this decision, and the committee will appoint one of its members to follow up on the implementation of this decision.
Today is the UN Human Rights Day. Now, what better day to have received this verdict for the rights of the Nubian child on a day when the UN is commemorating this year as the year of the human rights. And if you see the Nubians, very, very classic as a group, as an ethnic group of Kenya. This did not come out of nothing. The resilience comes from the Nubian culture. It is this Nubian culture which has protected us all these years. And when we came from the Sudan, conscripted into the British Army, sequestrated together with our wives so that we all stay in barracks, what they did not know was that they were also protecting our culture. And this has made us what we are. We have our language, we have our religion, Islam, we have our arts and crafts. I'm sure you have looked around and seen this. The crafts are inimitable. They are in sync with the environment. There are no chemicals used for the colors. It is herbs, leaves, barks of trees. In fact, I know some of the colors. Many of us The older ones also know some of the colors, and the ladies there, the older ones, well, they are the champions of that. So we would like you to emphasize the fact that we are not out to grab or to throw people out or to displace people. We are just claiming what is ours like everybody else in Kenya. Finally, I would like us to always stop and bear in mind the troubles, the trials, the tribulations that we went through as a result of the violation of our human rights. We have suffered vicious, unbreakable cycle of poverty handed down from grandfather, from great-grandfather to father, to me, to my child, to my grandchildren. And it's really amazing that you see people looking fine like this, in spite of all the human rights violation. This shows what you can achieve if you are determined and if you have resilience.